It's me again. If you can hear that noise, it's alright, carry on. It's all right. No, I'm having that stuff then. No, you live here, you can do what you want. Within reason. That's Remy, my rescue dog. He's having his dinner now. And I've come for a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee. And some Negro chocolate. Now, hang on a minute. Hang on it, look. Me and Luis Suarez, you know, we understand. I mean, Spain, alright? Right, when I said you can have your dinner, I didn't mean to make that much noise. He's probably eating less noise than me when I had the meatballs. Alright, Remy, you proved your point, mate. So, a couple of you said in the comments why or you don't host potential buyers, you know, at Anfield, because you know there's all this chatter stemming back to last month, which I'm probably responsible for that bit, about, you know, potential visitors at certain Liverpool games and that. And there's a lot of chatter today and over since last night. Right, that's enough now, thank you. There's a lot of chatter. I've actually had to put the light on in here. It's that dark outside. It's raining, don't tell anyone. But all my mates back home in England, I pretend I'm having barbecues every day of the year. It's absolutely siling it down rather than saying the P word and get told off by YouTube. Although my last two videos uploaded today, they were okay. There's been a lot of speculation chatter during the last 12, 14 hours or something like that, since last night, that guests, which is different to my word visitors, I've explained why I think they're slightly different, might be at the Everton game. And that, if you've watched the videos earlier today, you know what that's all about. If you haven't watched the videos earlier before this one, I suggest you go back. It'll be the one. It's got guests or visitors or Everton in the title. You should watch that one first, really. But if you can't be bothered or you don't have time because you've got a life, unlike us lot spending our entire time trying to work everything out. Basically, a Twitter ITK account made some claims last night that this was guests. They said guests attending the Liverpool Everton game, and basically suggesting that it was to do with the takeover, because takeover talks are progressing well. That's not. I don't actually believe that myself. But I don't know. I'm not an ITK, so I wouldn't be able to comment. So, because of those claims last night, and people, as a result of those claims last night, might mention it to a friend at work or offline. You know, not everyone's on, you know, lives on the internet or whatever. And then those people that are on the internet then come on and go, Dunk, I've heard that we've got people from Qatar coming to the Liverpool game, Liverpool Everton game. Do you know anything about it? This is on the members' website today. And I said I would personally ignore that. They said the friend had said that, and I said, well, I would ignore it unless your friend can tell you where they've got that information from, you know. So it's not like saying your friend's chatting nonsense or anything. It's just like, well, I wouldn't pay much attention to that because there is increased speculation and misinformation, I think, at the moment surrounding that those claims last night. Not my claims from the 23rd of January. Oh God, it's so terrible. I'm not saying that anyone is coming to that game to do with ownership. I was told on the 23rd of January to watch specific things, which we've gone over multiple times, but it didn't say what it was about, right? And these things happen all the time. But then this Twitter ITK account, parody account, silly account, whatever you want to call it, has made things worse and spreads misinformation, and it's not very helpful to those of us that it's just not very helpful to the grown-ups out there. So there is suggestion that because Qatar are trying to buy Manchester United, because we've seen the report in the Mail, which I've addressed in another video today, that their interest, Qatar, that's a big blow to us, and I don't think it is. I've just recorded the KopTalk podcast today. That's going out now to everybody if you want to listen to that. It doesn't just talk about all that stuff. If you don't need to listen to the KopTalk podcast for anything to do with Qatar or takeovers, because we've discussed all that on here. On the podcast today, we're talking about some transfer links and rumours and stuff like that as well. See, I've thrown myself off already. I don't want this to be a long video. It's pouring down, can you hear it? Yeah, so the podcast is going out now. I can't remember what I was saying. So the reason for this video is just to... We spoke about the Mail earlier today and the reports that Qatar want to buy Manchester United or will be making a bid within days, right? We've discussed that earlier today on here on the podcast. And I am trying to get the message across to you not to let that dishearten you. Like I think it will trigger other developments concerning people interested in that club and also Liverpool Football Club, possibly, right? Don't be disheartened. I saw comments last night, on social media, people saying, that's it, we've lost the interest from Qatar. It's not true. There's different elements, there's different things, there's multiple options, if you like, currently out there sniffing around Premier League clubs. One of them is a rumoured, nobody can back this up, rumoured joint Qatar, Saudi Arabia, private interest in Liverpool Football Club. I actually believe that claim. That's one I believe. The specifics of how it might work, I can't comment on that, I have no idea. But I do believe that there is interest from Saudi Arabia, and I do believe there is the possibility of a joint thing. I don't know if the interest from Saudi Arabia is only a joint thing or whether there's a standalone option as well. When you hear someone say Qatar are interested in buying Liverpool Football Club and then you read that they're going to try and buy Manchester United, some people think that's it then. Well, no, because there's multiple things, and in a lot of these countries you've got public money, you've got private money and so on, so loads of different options. Can you get in your bed, please? Thank you. Euthanasia is still a thing. Get in your bed. Thank you. He's taken over the role of Rodders, hasn't he? So you've got... I want to just explain this to you, right? I have said since November, when all this came out, right, that there is interest in Liverpool Football Club from Qatar. That was the chatter, which, if common sense suggests that if we're hearing about it in November, then it was there before November, right? Yeah, we'd agree with that. You don't have to be ITK for that, right? So that's coffee. I love coffee. Oh, Garthy. Qatar Sports Investment, Qatar Investment Authority, two completely different things. So I'm going to read to you, right? Just so that I'd rather read something factual than me. You know what I'm like, I'll start thinking of something else and going off into an hour-long video. QSI, Qatar Sports Investments, is a closed shareholding organisation founded in 2005 and based in Doha, Qatar. Revenues generated from ventures of QSI are reinvested into Qatar's sport, leisure and entertainment sectors. QSI is led by Chairman Nasser Al-Khelaifi and Vice Chairman Adel Mohammed Tayeb Mustafawi. I love these lot, I think they're mint. It's better than John Smith and Jack Daniels, isn't it? And its board of directors has 3 additional members. According to Una Galani, QSI is thought to be owned by the Qatar Finance Ministry and the Qatar Olympic Committee. QSI is subsidiary of Qatar Investment Authority, the state-run sovereign wealth fund in Qatar. It gets so complicated, right? Because QSI, Qatar Sports Investments, that's PSG, right? That's the PSG side of things, right? And then you've got Qatar Investment Authority. So QSI is the one that's sniffing around Manchester United. And I know there's all these like, well, they own that club, they own that club. They have to work all that stuff out, right? It's not our business. Let them get on with it. So QSI has become increasingly involved in international sports and the entertainment sector, especially as a key player in the French sports market with the completed acquisition of PSG and its affiliates in 2011. The portfolio also includes Byrne, a Qatari sports brand and sports and leisure apparel supplier specialised in development and customisation of actions established in 2007. And Next Step Marketing, a company specialised in client representations, direct merchandising and event management, among other things. In October 2022, QSI bought 21.6% of the shares of SC Braga for 80 million euros. It's a Portuguese sports club, right? It's best known for the professional football team playing in the Premier League there, right? So there's all sorts of like, there's two ways of this, right? One, don't give her SHIT. I'm trying not to swear because you two tell me off, right? Me, I don't really care about, like, you know when you get these fans go, like, that can't happen because they own a little bit of that and a bit, like, look, I don't care, right? If they're sniffing around Manchester United and they own a bit of this and a bit of that, they know what they're doing, all right? We don't matter, all right? If you're a Man United fan, all you need to know is that QSI want your club, right? It's their problems to try and work out, you know, how they do it all, right? So QSI are the ones trying to buy Man United. The Qatar Investment Authority, QIA, that's a separate entity, if you like. They want Liverpool, all right? So, I don't want this to be a long video because my coffee's going cold and I love my coffee. Tea, I've got hundreds of them tea bags. These coffees are expensive. The Qatar Investment Authority is Qatar's sovereign wealth fund. The QIA was founded by the state of Qatar in 2005 to strengthen the country's economy by diversifying into new asset classes. In 2021, the QIA had an estimated $450 billion of assets, right? Including Harrods, for example. And there was, I was looking at, you know, these investments and things that, I'm not going to read them out, you'll be there forever. Barclays, Volkswagen, Porsche, Sainsbury's, it's got investments in them. There was, I think, Heathrow as well. There's all sorts. I mean, like, honestly, it's everything. PSG handball team, they invested 340 million in that handball, you know what I'm saying? Handball. I don't know, whatever that is. Al Jazeera Sports. There's all these, like, these people know what they're doing. Right, okay, right, do you really care about that? I don't care what these organisations are. The reason I'm making the video is because Qatar Sports Investments are one thing and QIA are another. You know what I'm saying? Think of it like MFI and B&Q. Is it MF? What did I just say? MFI? Does that even exist? I've lived overseas for a long time now. I don't even know. Is it MFI? MFI. Well, I don't know. No, it dumped the flat back giant that fell on its back. Away from football, I don't know what's going on in the world. Well, I do, but I turn the news off. It's a bit depressing. So, listen to me. If you're ever going to listen to something that Big Dunk says to you, right? And Remy, I can't lift you up. Do you want to come here? I can't really get you up because you weigh a ton. Careful, I know I weigh a ton as well. You'll have to wait a minute. I'm trying to wind the video up. If you're ever going to listen, trust me with this, right? Ignore the denials. It's so difficult because there's people saying, you know, like only a few weeks ago a deal was done with Qatar, and then you've got people like, let's not name names, but journalists in that clique telling you there's no real interest in Liverpool Football Club. It's a load of nonsense. Don't be disheartened by the news today about Qatar and Manchester United. That is QSI, right? And I think that will trigger things. And QIA, absolutely, 1,000,000%, in my opinion, want to do business, want to buy Liverpool Football Club outright. That's it. That's all you need to do. Oh, no. QIA, QSI, there's no wonder. I mean, like, tomorrow I'll be mixing the words up. You know what I'm like? Don't worry about, like, people will shoot people down when they've got financial connections to other sports, and that can't be done. Where there's money, there's always an answer. They can do anything they want. Do you know what I'm saying? They can do anything they want. Simple as that. They want Liverpool, right? The only thing that concerns me about that interest and the ongoing interest in Liverpool from QIA, the only thing that concerns me is that we're hearing a lot about it, which I think it often means something's not going right unless you've stepped up to the table, which QSI appear to be doing at Manchester United. Oh my God, I can't handle it anymore. Honestly, I'm not talking about it anymore. I need a day off from it all. Right? Don't be disheartened. They're still wanting, as do the others. And how I am not swearing in these videos, I will never know. That's it, I've had enough now. I'll be glad when this is all done. You know what, we were talking about Bellingham on the podcast. People saying about some stupid journalist came out today, and it is stupidity, I don't care how big they are, whatever, saying Bellingham's now, he's not sure whether to commit to Liverpool or not. Like Bellingham sat there wondering what to do right now. I just shut up, right? Because it's common sense. It's common sense, right? So I'm not going to go on about it, but the reason I've gone to Bellingham is if you want players like that to sign for us, it's not just about whether you're in the Champions League, right, or whether the money's there to make these things happen. Of course, the money is the most important thing to make something happen. I do think that you can sign a player like Jude Bellingham, even if you're not in the Champions League, because to drop out 1 year and go back the next is not a big deal, right? Maybe, depending on the age of a player. The thing is, if you're Bellingham, you're thinking, well, will Liverpool be in the next time around or whatever? Anything could happen with Liverpool in the Champions League this time around. If you're Bellingham or any footballer looking at Liverpool Football Club right now, you're not. I don't think you're thinking about Champions League imminent, like short term. You're thinking, what is going to happen with that club? What is going to happen with that club? Do I want to sign for a club that has no leadership, no direction? Absolutely nobody in Liverpool Football Club knows where that club is going right now in terms of short term or long term. The manager doesn't know, the owners don't know, the staff don't know, the players don't know. So if you're a player coming in, is that the kind of environment you want to go into? Am I going to sign for a club that changes ownership and doesn't do anything, doesn't spend anything, doesn't invest? Am I signing for a club with the existing owners that are going to continue that mantra of hardly investing? There's Liverpool players there now. They're no different to us that say we really need some better players around these parts, right? So, am I joining a club that is ambitious? Is that manager going to be there forever? They're not going to fire Jurgen Klopp because it would be suicide. There'd be anarchy, whatever, whether he's to blame for any of the form or not. They're just not going to pull the trigger on Klopp. But is Klopp going to get to the point where he goes, you know what, I can't be doing with this. I'm getting no answers. I'm getting nowhere. It's time for a change. I'm done. Right? So am I going to sign for a manager that might not be there? So I think Julian Ward I think Edwards saw all of this coming. And I'll stand by that forever. I think he saw all of this was coming. And I said this at the time, that I think, do you remember, some of you, I don't know whether you follow me closely or not, right? And maybe I say one thing on a video and a podcast or on a members website, right? Because I can't remember. But I know for a fact that when Edwards went, when it was announced he was going, I was like, there's something's going off here. Something's not right. Yeah? And my intuition, my hunch was, I think he's got a whiff that they're going to bail. That was the chatter at the time. They're going to bail. And maybe there's question marks over whether the manager's going to be around. And there's obviously this big issue coming up of, these players are getting older. There's going to have to be a rebuild. And I just believe, it's my personal opinion, and I know it's an opinion shared by others, that he got out because he saw what was coming. All right? And I think that's what we're currently experiencing. So if you're a player coming in now, I mean, how can, this is what I said at the time, Edwards at the time, how can he sell a 3, 4, 5 year plan to a big name in football coming into us? Right, okay, what's the crack then at Liverpool? Because he couldn't answer it. Because he probably thought at the time, well, to be honest, mate, I can't answer that. Because I think these lot are going to go, or are looking at going. There's no like commitment long term from them. The manager, specifically around the time, I can't remember if it was contracts or something, I don't know, there was certainly doubts about Klopp, not in terms of ability or anything, but there was a lot of like, how could he sell, to people, players coming in? And if you look at Julian Ward, same thing. He's trying to do his best as he can at his job, and he's like, how can you operate efficiently, right? When these things, like, a player doesn't just go, right, that's it, then I'll sign for you. They say, well, what's happening? What's the plan? What's the manager's contractual situation? Is he staying? I really like Jurgen Klopp. I want to play for him. It would be a dream to play for him. And then Jurgen's not there. Is he going to be here? Well, can one of those, sporting directors or whatever you fancy title you want to give them, can they really say he's definitely going to be here? And I'm not talking about performance-wise. I'm talking because he might leave because of bad results or something. Because there is instability from the club from top to bottom. And this is what I'm trying to say to you guys. It's got to be resolved as soon as possible. It's got to be resolved as soon as possible. All of it. It's got to be resolved as soon as possible. It really has. And I hope to sell as soon as possible. My hunch, I keep saying this, my personal feelings, my feelings can change throughout the day. But as things stand at the moment, I think Liverpool Football Club will be sold. I do think the club will be sold. But they've got to stop resisting. They've got to talk to these lot. They've got to talk to these lot. The Everton game, we'll watch the Everton game. We'll see if there's any rumours come out after it. You're not going to see Arabs turning up there and go, oh, no, there they are. You're not going to see that. All right? So people are right. Why would you need to host people that are interested in buying Liverpool football? No, but you might host people that are involved in that process. All right? Sometimes people don't want to send things through email. Manchester City, look at my Twitter today, or the KopTalk Twitter handle, KopTalk, or Duncan Oldham on Twitter. I retweeted it today. Emails. Look at the Twitter takeover by Elon Musk. Yeah, the previous emails that have been leaked. This is big business. Sometimes people don't want to say things on telephones or in emails and stuff like that in case it comes out later. All right? So face-to-face meetings are always good, but I'm not suggesting that that's what these people, if anybody turns up at that game, is about. So I hope I've explained this. The reason for this video is to try and tell you, one, not to give up hope on, just because Qatar are now going for the other lot, right? I wanted to call them something, but I won't. And there is another part of Qatar. It's not just, you know what I'm saying, right? They still want us. There's others that want us. Liverpool Football Club will be sold, I think. I definitely think so. All right, speak to you in a bit.